Good morning and welcome to another Vielle Google Hangout. It is Monday the 4th of July and I'm here with my colleague Dale Henry, and we wanted to talk to you about some properties we have coming to the market this week, as well as a couple of properties which we brought to the market last week. So to begin, we'd like to talk about a multi-let fully income producing office and industrial property we are selling in Swindon. If I just share my screen with you now, you'll be able to see the property here. Bear with me a moment. Here we go. So this is Gemini House on the ground one of the industrial estate in Swindon, which we are selling for a private property company. This is quite an interesting property. It was originally single let building, office and industrial use. It was affected obviously by the credit crunch several years ago, and since then it has been converted into a multi-let office and industrial building. The industrial aspect of it is let to Glasses Direct, who many of you may know, particularly those that wear spectacles, and the remainder is let to various small market enterprises, mainly in the tech sector. Internally, the building has been refurbished over the last couple of years and it presents extremely nicely. There is an on-site manageress who looks after the property on a full-time basis, and she comes with the deal. Having seen the building myself, there is a very interesting dynamic in the building. It's very young, very buzzy, and a lot of the tenants collaborate with each other. So from an occupational point of view, the story is very good, and there has been a waiting list of occupiers for the building. So the sort of vacancy rate is very, very low indeed. However, if a suite does become vacant, then quite often it is almost immediately re-let again. So there are little or no void periods at the building. The building itself is approximately 36,000 square feet on a site of 2.5 acres. And we are quoting for this particular property £1,655,000, which is a 9.25% net initial yield and a capital value of £46 per square foot. So details of this property are available on the website now, and there is a full legal package as well as there is with all of our properties, as you may well know. So the information available to purchasers from day one is very, very in-depth and should hopefully provide all the information necessary for you to appraise the property, whether you know Swindon, whether you're based in Swindon, or whether you're based elsewhere in the UK or overseas. In addition to Swindon, we also brought to the market last week a multi-let retail and residential investment opportunity in Glastonbury, and for this I will refer to my colleague Dale Henry, who has put this property together and is more aware of it than myself. So bear with me a moment, Dale's here.
Thanks, Richard. So as Richard says, we have got this very attractive multi-let retail and residential opportunity in Glastonbury town centre. If I can share my screen with you a moment, just bear with me. Right, let me just try. Here we go. Right, hopefully you should see my screen now. Ooh. Okay, so this property is in a prime position in Glastonbury High Street, right in the heart of the town centre. It's actually a very, very busy thoroughfare, and importantly it links the main car park for the town centre with the high street, so high level of footfall. It's actually an award-winning development, won numerous awards for its design. It's very well known locally as well. It's sort of a tourist attraction in itself. It comprises 16 retail units on ground floor with 7 residential apartments above. The residential flats are all fully let on ASTs, and the retail units are also all fully let, multi-tenanted, income producing. It's mainly let to local occupiers, and again a very strong demand occupationally for the property. So it's had very few void periods since its opening in I believe it's 2004. There's a number of asset management opportunities as well for a purchaser. The property is producing a total income at the moment of about £122,000, and if one was to implement the asset management opportunities, that is expected to be boosted to around over £140,000 per annum. We are seeking £1.75 million, which is a net initial yield of 6.6% and a reversion yield of 7.6%. Again, full information on this, as you can see, is on our sales site, again with a full legal package. The other property I'd just like to talk to you about is ideal for a private investor seeking a very secure investment, as this is a retail unit in Woodley in Berkshire. For those of you who don't know Woodley, it's very close to Reading, a very affluent southeast town. The property is fully let to Barclays Bank PLC, so clearly providing highly secure income. It's let on a new lease, new 10-year lease with the break at 5. The tenant, though, has been in occupation since 2003, so it's clearly fully committed to the property and unlikely to be sort of going anywhere in the near future, given they've just renewed. The rent has just been rebased. And on this one, we are quoting £800,000, which is a net initial yield of 7%. There's no VAT payable, so that's why we think it would be an ideal purchase for a private investor seeking a low-risk investment opportunity. Again, this is now live on our sales sites, and we will be going to the market shortly. If I can now switch you back to Richard. Richard's just going to summarize a couple of investments we've got in the market at the moment, which he will just run through with you now.
Thank you very much, Dale. Yes, as he suggested, we have 2 or 3 other investments which we think would be particularly of interest to private investors at the moment, given what's happening in the UK. Particularly, if I can again just share my screen with you, I will show you the first of these properties, which is a very attractive property in Epping. Epping is in the county of Essex and in Greater London within the M25. It is a freehold shop and residential apart. As you can see from the homepage, the shop is let to Fat Face, who themselves offer a very strong covenant. For those that don't know the Fat Face covenant, for 2015 they reported revenue of £200 million, pre-tax profit of just under £13.5 million, and total equity of £100 million. So therefore they offer good secure income. They have a lease on the ground floor until 2022, so approximately a further 6.5 years at £60,000 per annum. In addition to the ground floor, there are 3 extremely nice flats above, which are all let on assured short hold tenancies, and they produce £12,000, £11,400 and £10,200 respectively. The total annual income for the property is therefore £93,600. If I can just show you the photo library now, as you'll see there are nearly 60 photos of the property, both on the ground, from the air and internally. If I just flick through these relatively quickly to the internal photographs of the flats, you will see the quality. The building is listed, it's a Grade 2 listed building, hence the original features which add a lot of character to the building. And you'll see from these photos, they are in very good condition. They are all let to professional people, and I believe that all of them actually have been in occupation for quite a while and have renewed their tenancy agreements. So therefore, it has been it's a well-let building. We are quoting £1.75 million, which is a net initial yield of 5%. In addition to Epping, we also have a high-yielding retail investment in Aldershot. Forgive me, I've just gone back to Epping accidentally. This is Aldershot. Aldershot is a retail property in the town centre, which is let to Casino, who offer secure income. They're a good covenant, and I understand out of 150, approximately 150 Casino units in the country, in terms of turnover and profitability, this is in the top 10%. It's quite an interesting business, as you can appreciate. It's not like a retail shop where they buy stock, so their overheads are not very high, and therefore pretty much it's a cash generating business. The lease benefits from fixed increases. There's a fixed increase every year, which is compounded at review. The current passing rent is just over £114,000, and at review a purchaser will benefit from the equivalent of 2.7% per annum increases. Therefore, in 2020, at the next rent review, the income will rise to £130,528 and change per annum. We are quoting a net initial yield of 8.63%, which provides an investor with a guaranteed reversionary yield of 9.85%, and in addition to which this will also attract private investors. There is no VAT payable on the purchase price, which is £1.25 million. Further information is available on the website. We are in the process of reporting on a number of other properties to bring to the market over the summer, and we are also in the process of purchasing a number of properties, mainly long-dated income, for the private investors who emerge from our various sales. So if anybody has anything of that nature or is considering selling anything of that nature, please do contact us, as we have we have buyers, and we have buyers that don't have or necessarily have the access to market that the mainstream investors, property companies or institutions have. So we would love to hear from anyone with anything to sell, be they agents selling or obviously vendors wishing to sell over the summer. Please contact either myself or Dale or Neil or a member of the team for anything further. We would be delighted to help and look forward to hearing from you. Have a good week.